Do you ever feel like these little pocket-sized devices control your life? When was the last time you checked your phone or used social media? Chances are, you've probably done this at least once already today. In fact, according to Larson's survey results, 100% of the survey participants use at least one form of social media on a daily basis. As one of the survey participants myself, I too use several forms of social media, including Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and occasionally other platforms like Facebook or TikTok. But what effects does this persistent use of social media have on our mental and emotional health? I believe that the inevitable usage of social media may have benefits in our modern world in the current pandemic, but that is not without its potential consequences. It is important that every individual is aware of their needs and that their social media usage reflects such needs so that it will have limited negative effects of their health. I am sure many of you have heard such arguments before, but I'm here to discuss and relate these topics with you and offer a potential solution to any of you who may feel that social media has control of your life rather than the other way around. First, let's take a look at some of the basics of social media and connect them with some common problems. One of the pinnacles of social media is being able to connect via the internet to multiple people from around the world. From the original social media platforms like MySpace to the news media giants like Facebook and TikTok, social media has evolved immensely and provided new ways to connect. Features such as friend searching, map location, or discover tabs all work to broaden your horizons and increase exposure to people from around the world. Prior to social media, there was only really direct communication, such as phones, letters, and in-person interaction, and broadcast media like radio, TV, and newspaper. But now I think we have things like Twitter and Instagram, and instant messaging, and being able to scroll repeatedly through multiple posts from your friends and family, as well as quick comments and follower counts. Now, the problems with these two pinnacles of social media is allowing an access of larger and larger groups. Prior to social media, this would not be possible, but your relationships would have been close, personal, and real, and now they're expansive and unconnected. People tend to focus on followers and finding new people and trends instead of spending time and energy on current friends. According to Larson's survey, 61% of participants felt that social media takes away from your in-person interactions. Another problem with instant communication and social media is it makes relationships too easy. According to How the World Changed Social Media, a 2016 book by multiple authors, by remaining connected on social media, users were able to give the appearance of being in touch without having to spend significant time and energy meeting them in person. Overall, this means that people are less invested in actual relationships with real people. Getting away from the crowds, it's time to get introspective and see what social media does to you. Because social media promotes widespread connection with people from all over the world, it increases how much exposure we have to various people, ideas, and trends. Tying this in with social norms, social media promotes levels of status and correct behavior, and this leads to you comparing yourself to others through things like numbers on an Instagram post. This arbitrary indicator of how well you're received by society isn't accurate to how you really are received by your friends and family. The instant communication nature of social media promotes more usage. The more conversations you can have at once, the more time you spend using apps. And with more followers and instant posts, this makes bigger feeds that keep you scrolling endlessly. Media companies also incentivize use of their app for their users by creating things like Snapchat streaks. Being exposed to so many different people and different internet trends leads you to comparing yourself to a life that isn't necessarily real. Over 50% of university student participants in a 2019 Pakistani cross-sectional study felt withdrawal symptoms from not having access to social media on multiple occasions. This excessive usage also promotes loneliness and a lower self-esteem. Additionally, the conditioned effects of social media and chronic usage distract us from other responsibilities and more important issues. from the same Pakistani study, 80% of participants spent more time on social media than they intended, and slightly more than 80% admitted to checking social media before doing other things that needed to get done. Granted, this study is limited to Pakistani individuals of college age, but it's clear that social media has this way of gripping us and keeping us in an addictive state of constant use instead of spending time on real meaningful things. Now, set down your phones and pay attention to my proposed solution for all of your social media problems. And that is mindfulness. According to the Greater Good Science Center of UC Berkeley, mindfulness means maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment through a gentle, nurturing lens. Now, mindfulness is not an exact science, but you can use various techniques like breathing techniques, accepting your thoughts without judgment, or being present and being aware of your intentions in order to change how you use social media. Seeing so many people and expansive online connections, mindfulness really helps you to filter out who is really important to you. And this may prompt you to reduce who you follow, focus on a closer inner circle rather than shallow, distant friends. Now, this reduces exposure to widespread networks, but it will actually put people who are meaningful in your life first. As far as the instant nature of communication, realizing what this does to you, you can be able to break away from the instant habits such as leaving likes and small comments on other people's posts. And this may lead you to prioritize more meaningful communication like phone calls, FaceTime, or actual in-person interaction. This allows you to understand what you see on social media is not always real or accurate to real life. Less comparing when you know that other people also have struggles that they may not be sharing on social media, and this will allow you to avoid loneliness and isolation by feeling all this negative energy. Finally, being aware of your time spent on media and the habits that social media causes will increase your ability to focus on what really matters to you and what you need to get done rather than mindlessly scrolling on a social media app. Now I'd like to draw your attention to my final takeaways. The internet and social media have revolutionized many aspects of our lives over the last 2 decades. Some of these for better, and some of these for the worst if we're not careful. Though there are many problems we face due to the normalcy of social media, being mindful of our everyday usage can limit the negative effects that social media once created. So the next time you pick up one of these, hopefully not in the next few minutes, I encourage all of you to mind your usage and actively be aware of what you're really trying to get out of your next social media visit.